Okay, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me and see my screen? I think we still have one person absent. Have you? Mrs. Angela has not joined. What's happening to her? Let me try to call her. Zoom has been giving us issues since.
But sir, what's the issue?
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me? Mrs. Angela, we are waiting for you. No. Please. No, you didn't. Hello, good evening, all. I just called Mrs. Angela, and she told me that she's in the hospital with her daughter. I don't know.
She'll get the recording. At least.
You said?
She'll get the recording.
Okay, she'll get the recording. Okay, good. Yeah, you are correct. She'll get the recording. She'll get the recording. So let's continue. That's good. I've even forgotten that I'm recording it. So she just listen to the recording. If there's any issue, she will call me. So let us continue. We have wasted a lot of time already. Let's go to where we stopped. We are meant to start calculation today, right? I think we are done with the theory aspect, right? Are you there? So let's go and take some calculations now. Okay. Let's take question 1. Let us take question 1. Please, are you with your material right in front of you?
Yeah.
Because what I want to do is, this question is not solved in this material. So what I want to do, I want to bring out my material too, so that we can be looking at it there. So that we open a blank Word document for us to be solving in it. I think it's better that way, Abby. So, did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't hear, sir. You said we should.
I said I will open a blank Word document so that you can be using it to solve this question. It is not solved there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking, do you have your material with you so that I'll just stop sharing this. We now work with our material. We'll only be seeing the solution.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
How can I put my screen like this? My material by this side.
Okay, I believe we can see this now, Abi. And let me tell you that we'll be holding our class on Saturday by God grace, 9 to 11 or 9 to 11:30, whichever. Okay, but we start from 9. Can we hear that?
In the morning or
I
evening?
got no, in the morning. I said it
Oh,
earlier now.
okay.
I have
Yes, sir.
forgotten. I said I will be telling you ahead.
On
My
the group.
class at FC, we start by, I start my class by 12:30, so I want to take you in the morning before my class will start on that Saturday.
Okay.
So let us take question number 1.
So
First,
this Saturday to be holding or next.
this Saturday, this coming Saturday. So let's take question number 1. The ordinary shares of ABC Limited are currently quoted at 3.5 naira per share, cum div. The board of directors has recently declared a dividend of 20 kobo per share. Estimate the company's cost of equity capital. Estimate the company's cost of equity capital. Okay? Now, let me label this as computation of cost of capital at 2, because I sent one to you before. So this will be the part 2. The first one I sent was just a theoretical aspect. So this I will now deal with calculation. So let's look at example 1. We have read it out. Sorry. Example 1. We have read it out. Now, we have to compute the cost, estimate the cost of equity capital. Now, look at it. I gave you 2 formula for computing cost of equity, where dividend is growing or dividend is constant. If you look at this question now, you see that number 1, you are not given growth rates, right? You are not given the growth rate, and you are not also given information that will enable you to calculate the growth rate. We have 2 ways of calculating the growth rate, whether you are using interpolation of historical dividend or you are using Gordon's growth model. So none of them apply to this question. So it means dividend here is constant. We're having a constant dividend situation. So I will compute my cost of equity as what? D0 all over market value of equity times what? Times 100. Okay. Now, what is my D0? My current dividend is what? Is 20 kobo. I have 20 kobo as my dividend. What is my market value of equity? Now, the question gave me market value of equity to be what? XD, 3.5 XD, right? Is it XD? Sorry, cum div. We are given cum div. So because it is cum div, it means we have to convert it to XD, because I have told you that the market value of equity that you need should be what? Should always be XD. So if you are given cum div, you must convert it to what? To XD. And how do you do that? Deduct that current dividend from the market value, right? But look at it. The market value is given in naira, while the dividend is given in kobo. So be careful. Our dividend is given in kobo, but the market value of equity is given in naira. So I will convert that naira to kobo. Just multiply the naira, that market value of equity, by 100. So I will have 350 kobo. Can you see that? So minus what? Minus 20 kobo. So that will give me 330 kobo. That is the market value of equity XD. So I can now compute my cost of equity. Cost of equity is equal to 20 all over what? 330 times 100 over 1. So my cost of equity should be what? I believe you are with your calculator. Just punch your calculator. 20 over 330 times 100 times 100. That will give us what? What happened
Point
to my
one.
calculator? 20,
6.1.
6.1. Okay. My calculator is misbehaving.
You should not misbehave.
6.1%. 6.1%. So that is the cost of equity. Did you understand this? You can see that this is very simple, Abby.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where's the other woman?
You should pause. Even though I just
This one and she was safe. Yeah, what happened? We are no longer in class. Yeah. We said that she will get the recording. Abby, she will get the recording now. Please do. Okay, good. Welcome back. So example 2. Example 2. Let's look at example 2. The ordinary shares of ABC Limited are currently priced at 3.5 per share cum div. The board of directors has recently declared a dividend of 20 kobo per share. The previous dividend paid by the company are stated below. So we have from year 2014 to 2017, and assume it is now what? 31st December 2018, and that the accounting year end of the company is 31st December. Required, estimate the growth rate in dividend. Now, in this question, even though the question did not tell you to estimate the growth rate in dividend, of course, you can see that we are given past dividend history of this company, Abi. We are given the dividend from year 2014 to year 2018. So it means dividend is growing. You can use the first method of computing growth rate, which is what? Interpolation of historical dividend to compute your dividend growth rate. So let's see. So my cost of equity will the first one is dividend growth rate. So the dividend growth rate, growth rate. Now, so that is our G. So our G will be equal to what? What is the formula? Can you remember? The formula is
RB.
okay.
Right.
Latest dividend or current dividend all over what? Earliest dividend raised to power what? Raised to power 1 over. How many years do we have here? How many years? 1 over what? 1 over what am I going to use? Now, let us count. We have from year 2014 to year what? From 2014 to 2018, right? You can see that the 20 kobo dividend is for 2018.
But we were not giving figure for 2018.
We are given.
We're not giving dividend for 2018.
They gave you this. Look at it. The question says what? The director has recently declared a dividend of 20 kobo. And the question says, assume it is now 31st December 2018. So the current year is 2018. So the current dividend is for what? Year 2018. Do you understand? Have you seen it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Madam Chiwe, are you following, please?
yes, sir.
Okay. So let us continue. We have that will now be 4, Abi. 1/4. That will now be 1/4 minus 1. Don't forget the rule. The way I explained it earlier. 1/4 minus 1. Okay. Let me state the formula first. 1/n minus 1. So our growth rate will be equal to, our latest dividend is 20, while our earliest dividend is 10. Our earliest dividend is 10. So raised to power 1/4, raised to power 1/4 minus 1, minus 1. So we have what? G equals, now take your calculator, just do 20, 1/4 is 0.2, is 0.25, Abi? So that's the easiest way to do it. Convert that fraction to decimal. Just divide 1/4. Use your calculator, you get 0.25. Okay? So I will simply say 20 over 10 let me use my calculator. Let me use my phone rather. So I have 20 divided by 10 equal to, so raised to power what? Raised to power 1/2, or 1/4. Raised to power 1/4, 0.25. 0.25. So that's giving me 18.9%. When you deduct that one from it, you get 18.9%. Did we get the same thing? This one is going to be give you 1.189. So minus 1 should give you what? G equals 0.189, which is what? Which is the same thing. When you convert it to percentage, you have it as 18.9%. You have it as 18.9%. Did we get this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is the growth rate in dividend. Then B, we have to compute the cost of equity. Cost of equity. So cost of equity. The cost of equity will now be, because we now have growth rate, dividend is growing, D0, 1 plus G, 1 plus G, all over what? KE, sorry, all over VE plus G. That's the dividend growth formula. So what is our D0? Our D0 is 20 kobo. Our G, which is our growth rate, is 18.9%. 18.9%. And our market value is what? The market value of equity is 300 and what? 350, right? Is still the same thing? Let me check. Yeah, 350. 350 minus 20. That is at 330. The same thing we got the other time 330. So we can go ahead and say our cost of equity is equal to 20 into bracket 1 plus 0.189 close bracket divided by 330 plus 0.189. So take your calculator, let's do it together. We have KE to be equal to 20 kobo into bracket 1.189 close bracket all over 330 plus 0.189. So this will give me my cost of equity. This will give me my cost of equity. I believe you are doing it or you just left it to me. Don't leave it to me. Oh. I already
I'm doing
know. Please, let's do it together so that you understand it. So, let's go. We have 20 times 1.89, 1.189 rather, 1.189. That should give us 23.78. That's 23.78. Then divided by what? Divided by 330 equal to plus 0.189. So multiply by 100 to convert it to percentage. You will have 26.1%. Okay, the cost of equity here should be 26.1%. Who did not get this? Who did not get this? Who did not get this? Did we all get it?
I
Hey,
got
so
it. I didn't get it earlier, but I recalculated. I've
you didn't
gotten it
what?
now.
Okay, you've
I
gotten it
didn't
now,
get
Abby?
it earlier. Yeah.
Now, anytime you are doing something like this, always follow board mass. Okay? Your board mass. Open this bracket, do your division before you add. You understand? Okay, I think is there a question here? So let us continue. That is that about question number 2. Please, you can see that all these questions are still simple. They are still simple, Labi. So I want you to understand that. That's why I'm starting them from the simplest one before we graduate to the more complex ones. Now let's go to the question, to the next question, question number 3. Assume the ordinary shares of Sanwo-Olu PSC are quoted at 2.7 per share XD, and the dividend per share for the year just ended is 50 kobo per share. The dividend payout ratio is 30%, and the company expects to have a return on equity capital of 15%. A, estimate the growth rate in dividend. Estimate the growth rate in dividend. Now, I want to ask you, what method do you think I can use to estimate my dividend growth rate here? What method do you think is the more appropriate to use in this situation? I'm waiting for a response. I've given you 2 methods that you can use. Interpolation of the historical dividend, that's what we use up there. And I said Gordon. And as we said that Gordon's growth model is what? It calculates growth rate as G equals RB, where R is what? Return on equity, while B is proportion of earnings retained. Now, if you look at this question, the question says the company pays 50% of its earnings as what? As dividend. So if you pay 50% as dividend, it means we are retaining what? We are retaining 50%. You make a profit, you pay 50% as dividend, then the implication is that you are retaining 50%. Okay, so our B is 50%. That's what it means. Then what's our R? The question has given you R as what? The R is okay. The return on equity is what? Is 50%. So R is 15% and B is 50%. From there, we can calculate our dividend growth rate. So our dividend growth rate, you say what?
I have a question. The
Okay.
dividend payout is 30%.
Oh, not 50,
Yeah.
Abi. Oh, okay. 30%. It means retention rate is what? 70%, right? Yeah, 70%. We are retaining 70%. We are retaining 70% because we paid out 30%. Thank you. So, growth rates using what? Using Gordon. Using Gordon's growth model. Using Gordon's growth model. So, growth rate will be equal to what? G equals RB. G equals RB. So our G, what's our R? In the question, our R is 15%. And what's our B? Our B will be equal to the 100% minus 30%. 100% minus 30% will give us our B. Okay? We are paying dividend of 30%. So B is 70%. 70%. So we can now say, therefore, that our G is equal to 0.15, which is 15%, times 70%. So G is equal to, what do you have? Multiply 0.15 times 0.7 times 100. I should have 10.5%. That is my dividend growth rate. 10.5%. Okay? 10.5% is my dividend growth rate. Is this clear, please? Is this clear? Okay. So let's go to the next question, question number 4. Question number 4. Example 4. I will share this working with you. Anything we are solving, I will be sharing them with you so that you can have them. Now, question 4 says, from the information below, estimate the cost of equity capital of PQR Limited using the CAPM approach. Using the CAPM approach. So, what is the CAPM formula? What's the CAPM formula? Cost of equity. Can you give me the CAPM formula?
Cost of equity equals to risk-free rates plus beta of equity brackets market return minus risk-free.
Good. Even though you have taken from your notes.
I wasn't checking from my.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So my cost of equity is equal to, what is the risk-free rate? The risk-free rate is 7%. Okay, let me say the formula. Risk-free rate plus beta of equity into bracket market return minus risk-free rate. So what's our risk-free rate? Our risk-free rate is 7% in the question. So put 7% plus. What is the beta of equity? Beta of equity is 1.5 into bracket. What is the market return? Market return is 12% minus 7%. Minus 7%. This link will soon expire. When it does, please log in with the second link. Cost of equity will be equal to 7%, 7% plus 1.5 into bracket 5%. So my cost of equity will be equal to what? Let's just multiply. 1.5 times 5, 5 times 5 plus 7.7%. That gives us what? 14.5%. 14.5%. That's our cost of equity. Madam Tiwi, are you there? Madam Chui, are you there? Are you getting what we are doing, please? Are you getting it? Please. I want to be hearing your voice once in a while so that I'll be sure you are with me. Okay? Please. I want to be sure we are together. So we have solved, that's the end of question number 4. I've solved 4 questions. Now let's go to the next question, which is question 5. Bala PSC has in its capital structure 10 million 12% preference shares of 1 naira each, currently quoted at 2.9 per share cum div. Estimate the cost of the preference share capital of Bala PSC. Now, leave the requirement A until we solve a cost of debt, until we solve question on cost of debt. So leave requirement A. Let's solve B. Assume the preference shares is what? Is irredeemable, and that is the normal. Preference shares in most cases are irredeemable. Okay, they are irredeemable. So, but if you have redeemable preference shares, you treat them the way you are going to treat redeemable debt. That's why I say hold on for requirement A until we solve the question on redeemable debt. Okay, so let's see. Question 5. Question 5. Cost of preference shares. Cost of preference shares. Cost of preference shares. So, cost of preference share, what is the formula? Is preference share dividend, preference shares dividend over what? Over market value of preference share, that is VP, times 100 over 1. So what's our preference share dividend? Our dividend here will be, our dividend is, the nominal value of the preference share is what? Is 1 naira. And the dividend rate is 12%. So multiply that 12% by 1 naira. Multiply 12% by 1 naira. Because dividend is payable on the nominal value, not on the market value. Okay, we pay dividend on nominal value, not on market value. So I say my dividend is equal to 12% of 1 naira. So 12% of 1 naira is 0.12. Is 0.12. And what is the market value of the preference shares? The market value of the preference shares is 2.7, right? Sorry, 2.9. And it is XD. So convert it to it is cum div. Convert it to XD. So 2.9 minus 0.12 will give us what? Will give us what would that give us?
2.78.
0.7.
2.78.
2.78. So we have 2.78. 2.78 is our exit market price of preference shares. So cost of preference shares cannot be calculated as KP equals 0.12 all over 2.78 times 100. So that will give us what? 0.12.
4.32.
4.32, 4.32%. 12 divided by 2.78. Yeah, 4.32%. 4.32%. That's correct. That's correct. So that's the cost of the preference shares. Madam Chui, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So example 6, we are progressing. Example 6. Let's go to example 6. That's page 24. Example 6, page 24. Consider that the capital structure of Babalola PSC comprises the following elements ordinary shares of 1 naira each, 2 million, 10% bank loan, 500,000, 12% irredeemable debenture, 5 million, 15% debenture redeemable in year 2024, 7 million. The 12% debenture have market value of 125 per 100 nominal value, while the 15% debenture have market value of 115 per 100 nominal value. The current interest on both debt are yet to be paid. The 15% debenture can be converted into ordinary shares of the company in 2023 at a rate of 12 shares for every 100 of debt. And the market price of equity on this date is expected to be 9 naira per share. If not converted on this date, the debenture will be redeemed on the stated date at a premium of 5% to its nominal value. Required. Calculate the cost of each category of debt in the capital structure of Babalola PSC. Assume it is now 31st December 2018. Okay. So we have to compute the cost of debt. Okay, we have 3 debts here. We have bank loan, we have irredeemable debenture, and what? We have redeemable debenture. So the question says we should calculate the cost of each category of debt in the capital structure of Babalola PSC. So Babalola PSC is question 6. Let me put it there for reference purpose. Babalola PSC. So let's start with, now if you look at the question, you have ordinary shares, right? But did the question ask you question on ordinary share? No. So that should not be your concern, since the question did not ask you anything about ordinary shares. Okay, please give me just 1 minute. Let me return the Sorry, I needed to quickly return that call, please. Pardon me for that. So let's start with bank loan. Let's start with bank loan. Now, what type of debt is bank loan? You know, I told you that before you can calculate cost of debt, you must be able to identify the type of debt you are dealing with. So bank loan is what type of debt? How do we categorize bank loan? What type of debt is it? Madam